All right, we're here at San Diego Comic-Con with DC Entertainment co-publishers Jim Lee, Dan DiDio. How you guys doing?
Good, thank you. First day, we're doing good.
Doing great, Tony.
Okay, so what do you guys do? No.
Yeah. What's up?
So let's talk about all these new books that were just announced.
Okay. Yeah.
It's some interesting choices, and I'm really curious how you guys came up with the specific characters and the creators to bring them back in a lot of sense.
Oh, for the miniseries?
Yeah.
Well, actually, what we did is, again, what we said, we came out of Convergence, and we wanted to be pushing the storytelling forward. And again, there was a lot of things that we saw that really worked so well in the original interpretations of the characters that we felt would be great to be able to pull into the storytelling that we're telling right now in the New 52 universe moving forward, and really be able to integrate them in naturally, organically, and be able to move the characters forward in a way that people might embrace them more, get more excited about it. So we decided to go back to the core creators on these things and be able to go to the person and say, when you were putting this series together, the idea together, what was it? What was the goal for it? It was a fascinating conversation to sit down with Jerry Conway about Firestorm. Perfect example. And we were sitting with Jerry, and Jerry was explaining the original idea of Firestorm was it's the teenager with your parents' voice in your head always yelling at you. And what he did is he gave a physical manifestation of that in Martin Stein. And when you understand that was the core conceit and what the heart of the storytelling was about, it only made sense to go back to him and say, listen, here's where we are with the character. Now, can you take us back to a place where you feel we service what the original needs of that character was? And we did it with him, we've did it with Len, we've got Marv, we've got Mike Barr, we got a lot of great creators out there being involved in this. And for us, my excitement is that it's not just that they're stepping into characters and redoing what they did before, but they're taking what we have now and crafting a way that we think is going to be better for the future.
Very well said.
Was there any issue like, okay, you may not have been like current with where we're at now in the DC universe, or is there any like catching them up to speed, like this is what has happened, this is where characters associated related to them are at?
These are journeyman creators. I mean, these are the guys that actually created the multiverse. So I think it's like riding a bike. It's the muscle reflexes just kick right in. And what's really cool about these books is that we're actually pairing them up with some of our more junior editors to see what we can get out of matching a veteran with a new voice within our editorial ranks, and kind of seeing what they can bring to the equation. And we'll get some really interesting results. And I think it's challenging the writers to look at their characters in a different way, not just in terms of fitting them into our continuity, but also, hey, years have passed since you came up with this original idea. Let's say for Firestorm, what would you do differently today, given the change in society, changes in our audience? And I think that's a really interesting proposition for both new and old fans.
And actually, they did get all the pre-existing material, and they're working from that. I mean, what I always say is that what's great about a lot of talent is that they go back and read all the material existed beforehand, so they see what's working, what's not working, and then be able to extract things that they think can be essential to moving the story forward, but also fixing the places where they might have gone off the track a little bit and getting them back on the line.
And luckily, these creators are all, they're professional, they're experts. But it's not going to be an issue like, no, you're wrong, you got to do this. And
no, like I said, I mean, these are the people that were instrumental in building this shared mythology, working with and collaborating with other creators to create it. So I think they completely get it, and also understand how they can reintroduce what they created and make it fit into this mosaic or this tapestry that's been created over the decades.
Yeah.
Now, are you guys going to be working on anything, any comics related? Or are you busy behind the scenes? I mean, you don't have to tell us, but...
There's always stuff going on. That's all I can say. I've had a little bit of a break. I'm itching to get back into the trenches, as it were. It's just finding the right project, the right time. But shortly, yeah.
You know what? For me personally, I'm focused on making sure that we got the line to be the strongest we can be, and then I love to write and let's get involved and work with the staff and books too. So somewhere down the line, but nothing right now. The real focus is getting everything that we've created, everything we're about to announce, elevated to the best they can be.
You might have heard, but we just moved the entire company from New York to LA, and then on top of it, Convergence, and then on top of that, the new launch. I mean, just 3 huge back-to-back things. So there's just been a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes for sure.
So, and we're seeing a lot of success and momentum with the TV shows and upcoming movies. Is there any idea or thought or ability to try to push the comics through those mediums, like maybe have an ad during a TV show or attached to a movie, or anything to get the general non-reading public aware that, hey, there are comics? Because I know you guys mentioned that they're picking up on them, but like we had that little extra push.
Yeah. we actually have people whose jobs are specifically devoted to spreading the word and working with our sister divisions in basically how do we get more people into our characters than ever before. And so there's all sorts of conversations and experiments and initiatives in the works. Nothing so specific as putting a commercial in, because as simple as that sounds, it's actually a hugely complicated and expensive thing to do. But at the same time, we're always looking to our partners to figure out, hey, look, you have a lot of eyeballs that are watching this or playing this. How can we get them interested in the source material, and how can we use the source material to help you also spread, the word about what you guys are producing? And we've had some really great ideas come from those discussions and that dialogue, and you're seeing them come through. For example, today, I think at the Comic-Con, we have an exclusive Batgirl comic book that is tied into the DLC for Arkham Knight. And that comes out of our regular discussions with the Warner Brothers Games Group and figuring out, hey, how can we bring some comic book goodness into what you guys are doing? It gets our core audience excited. It also gives people that play the game other additional content that they can consume and follow, and it just makes for a greater whole.
And Dan, this is your last question. Sure. How much of your personal collection made it the trip across?
It's in storage right now, hopefully somewhere very safe and dry. You know what? The move was traumatic. No, just with my comics looking at a rainstorm cloud coming in. You know what? It's well worth the trip. My comics have been out here once before, so they're looking forward for the return trip. Ultimately,
it's comics. It's playbills. That's right. We're talking Godzilla,
models, statues, toys.
Movie.
I'm a mess.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys can get another floor at the DC office. Put all your.
Find a bigger house. That's for
sure.
sure.
A curator. Yes.
All right, thank you guys. We're really excited about everything you guys are doing and all the new stuff, and just you guys are pushing it, and that's great.
Well, thank you very much, man.
Thank you. Now.